A young woman, Jenna, discusses a recent situation with her mother. It turns out Jenna has stopped taking her prescribed medication. During dinner with her parents, she's extremely irritated by the way they chew and smack their lips. Later, she overhears that they want to send her to some kind of farm. When her parents fall asleep, Jenna sneaks into their room and steals money. She plans to take a bus to Los Angeles. On the bus, the surrounding sounds irritate her again, and she escapes them by putting on headphones. After stopping in a small town, Jenna uses an internet cafe to find a guest house for the night. The chosen place is run by a kindly elderly couple, Ellie and Sam. There she also meets another guest, Gavin. In her room she sees a cockroach crawling out of the wall. Over tea, it comes out that Ellie worked as a nurse her whole life, and Sam likes tinkering and has somehow improved the house. Another cockroach crawls out from under the floorboard. While talking with Gavin, the girl tells him about her neurological disorder, misophonia, and intolerance to almost any sounds. That's why she wears headphones everywhere. Gavin suggests they grab coffee together, and they exchange contacts. That night, Jenna has a nightmare. First she sees Gavin with a bag pulled over his head, then the elderly couple measuring her for some reason. In the end, she vomits a whole heap of cockroaches. The next day, Jenna goes to meet Gavin at a cafe. He doesn't show up, but some guy appears, scares her, and she runs out the back door. The old lady, noticing Jenna's distress, suggests she unwind by doing some gardening. She also remarks that it's much better to be a plant than a person, and mentions her twin children, one of whom died at birth. In response, Jenna shares that her mother once sent her to a farm that turned out to be a psychiatric hospital. She also complains about a stalker who's always nearby. Jenna decides to stay with the old couple for a few more days. At night she hears a rustling, pulls back the wallpaper, and sees someone's little fingers. Frightened, she still investigates the wall and finds a hidden door. Inside she discovers someone's emaciated but still living body. Jenna texts Gavin to call the cops, except it's actually the old woman Ellie who's been texting with her the whole time. The living mummy reaches toward Jenna. Jenna knocks out the landlady as she enters the room. Sam comes up after his wife, and the terrified girl looks for a way to escape. She ends up in another room housing about a dozen similar horrific mummies. The old couple seize Jenna and sedate her with an injection. The heroine comes to at the table. A gleeful Ellie tells her she will no longer be troubled by fear and anxiety. The old woman claims she cares for every guest in the house using her special calming substances, and she fertilizes them through an IV. She also sews up the guests' eyes and ears. She started doing this back at the hospital. She began populating the house after her daughter, son-in-law, and grandchildren were about to leave after a holiday she just couldn't stand to let them go. The son-in-law resisted the transformation into a plant and had to be killed. The daughter and grandchildren remained living under the floorboards. Their human garden spread throughout the house. Sometimes new seedlings appear. Gavin, by the way, has already taken root under the porch. There's only one problem: the cockroaches, which nibble at the people. The execution is interrupted by a phone call. The very man from the cafe arrives at the house looking for Jenna. It turns out he's the father of her ex-boyfriend. But Sam interrupts his heartfelt conversation with Ellie and kills the man. Meanwhile, a partially paralyzed Jenna attempts to escape through a window. She succeeds. However, her attempt to drive away fails. All she can do is hide in the back seat while the old couple load the man's corpse into the car. After driving to a quarry, Sam pushes the car off a cliff with Jenna and the corpse inside. The car is smashed to pieces, but Jenna proves tough enough to survive the fall. Later we learn that she had egged her boyfriend on to commit suicide, which drove her off the rails afterward. Now tormented by guilt and unable to find peace in this world, she decides to return to the pair of maniacs and voluntarily agrees to join their home garden.